Boston gets the victory. And Jayson, I'm going to start with something personal. Even though I'm old and you're much younger than I am, we do have something in common. We both have 4-year-olds. And I need to know on game night, how late is Deuce allowed to stay up? Because my little guy likes to watch the game, but he's got to go to bed. So what is time to go to sleep on a game night for the young man?
He gets the privilege of going to sleep, when I get home. He's been doing it for so long now. He knows the routine, and he's tricked myself to wait till I get home. That's his excuse. Wait till Daddy get home till he goes to sleep. So obviously these 9 o'clock games, it could be 1 in the morning.
Yeah, but naps are a big part of NBA life, and I imagine for 4-year-old life too. The nap game must be elite if you're going to stay up and wait for Dad. And Dad and the Celtics won tonight, and you did a lot of things really well, Jayson. If you were going to say the most important thing that you all did best tonight, what was it?
I think responding to their runs, right? They're a great team, obviously great offensive players, and they're going to go on runs. I think it's just all about how you respond. Obviously, the third quarters have been tough on us the first 2 games. So I think coming out with a little more energy and just awareness of that. I just like how we responded. Every time they went on a run, we call it timeout, we regroup. We responded, we figured it out. And I was proud of the way that we competed throughout the game.
You, Jalen, Marcus, all go for 20-plus, and what you all do, our eyes are drawn to that, right? And it gets tons of attention. But what Rob Williams does, man, I don't know how you quantify it. He's so important to your team, and I just wonder if you could explain, Jayson, the type of energy and the type of boost the plays he gives your team.
Man, his impact is unmatched, right? His presence, the things that he brings to the game, don't always show up in the stat book, but he's so valuable to our team, and the difference when he's out there and when he's not is night and day, right? On the defensive end, being the rim protector, and just even if he doesn't block the shot, just deterring guys from attacking the rim, and obviously on offense, if you get in a bad spot, just throw it at the sky and he'll go catch it. He saves us a lot of the times.
Yeah, the sky is his ceiling, man. You can throw it anywhere, and he's going to go get it. Last thing I'm curious about, I've become so interested in your coach's post-game talks because Ime is so all business, and I know he's happy, but I just so appreciate the manner in which he speaks to you guys and the type of message that he delivers. How do you best explain how am I putting this? It's just that he's always so even keeled that I wonder how much you take from that as a team, whether you're doing well or whether you're not.
You got to respect it, and he's been that way all season, even through the ups and downs. And I think, just him, coming from Coach Pop and being with the Spurs and winning the championship and knowing what it takes, just not being satisfied. Obviously can enjoy a win, but the ultimate goal is the first team to 4, and we know the job's not done yet. So we just got to, get some rest, recover, get ready for practice tomorrow. We got another one on Friday, so that's always his message, just on to the next one, because job's not done yet.
Well, you and Deuce can't get any rest if you're talking to me, and I don't know how long the drive is. Boston head coach Ime Udoka after the victory in the locker room.
And the main thing, after a tough third quarter where they got back in it, they'll do 11 in the fourth. Hell of a job there, obviously. A few things we did. 4 turnovers at the halftime. That's the game. 15 offensive rebounds. We used our size. 15 offensive rebounds with 22 second chance points, 11 more shots. Hell of a job using our size, played big, and we didn't overreact. That was the main thing. Third quarter when they hit the threes, we talked about it. Don't overreact to the threes. What's the challenge now? Hey, we bounce back after losses, but bringing the same heat when we win it. So looking forward to that in 2 days. Hell of a job. Enjoy it. Let's get ready for the next one.
All business, man. That dude never changes his expression. And I think that there's something to be learned in that, right? Never too high, never too low. Tim Legler back with us to continue our conversation. In the 2 losses in the fourth quarter, Golden State's just been obliterated. In this one, you sensed it even in the third as we saw Golden State do what they do. You sensed that gas tank was where?
Yeah, it just looked like to me they were not going to have enough to push this thing across the finish line, despite that great run. You knew at some point a flurry would probably come, and it did.
Yep.
But I just didn't feel, even then, that Boston was going to give that whole thing up and it would eventually impose their physical will on them. This was a situation tonight. I think two teams played to their strengths, and Boston's strength was just much greater tonight. Their size, their athletic ability, their physical strength. And the other thing about Golden State, in the third quarter, you felt like they weren't still necessarily looking and hunting threes, even though they were getting some. And they're harder to defend that way. When they just typically get one-dimensional the way they did in the fourth quarter, where that's really all they were looking for, now you really are playing into the hands of the Boston Celtics. They extend, they've got length, they can switch a bunch of stuff, and that's where Golden State looks tired. It's happened twice now in this series where they basically were shut down on the offensive end of the floor, and on the other end had a very difficult time either containing the ball tonight or in game one. It was really defending the three-point line. But either way, Boston had a tremendous response to what they saw in the third quarter.
Jonathan Kuminga got 219 tonight. I know that's a guy you're saying maybe give him a look. And look, Jordan Poole's had a star turn this year and looked the part. What's he looked like to you in the finals thus far?
Completely uncomfortable. I still believe in his skill set. I believe in his skill set. I found myself defending him a little bit here since this series started with people that I've talked to about him throughout the year. I believe that this guy is a big-time offensive player. He does not look comfortable on the floor right now. He's doubting himself. He's hesitating a lot. He just doesn't look certain when he gets the basketball. It looks like a hot potato sometimes. That's not what we saw out of Jordan Poole all year. He emerged as a legitimate, big-time scoring threat.
No doubt.
That they need in this series. And I'm just not convinced now after 3 games we're going to get that at any point, because Ime Udoka knows it too. And I think they're getting into him a little bit, and it's rattled him. He's a young player going through this for the first time. It might be a little bit much to ask, but a guy like Kuminga, I'm just saying this, I know he's 19 years old, but he's 6'8", he jumps through the rafters. He's a physical presence. He will run down some offensive rebounds. And he also just seems like a cool cat. Like he's not going to be fazed by the moment, and he gives you a physical presence against these guys for Boston that are throwing you around in the paint. Maybe you go there, but I also know coaches do not like to react to what people in the media tell them to do. Right. They tend to dig in the opposite way, so I don't know if we're going to see Kuminga get meaningful minutes.
Well, I mean, it's a short turnaround. This is the one short turnaround we've got in this series from tonight, Wednesday night, till Friday night. We'll see what Steve Kerr and Golden State comes up with as they got to try to answer a third quarter barrage that saw all of an 18-point lead evaporate. They fell behind, but a big fourth quarter. They outscored Golden State 23-11. Jayson Tatum contributing in a significant way as the Celtics grab Game 3. Ime Udoka with some thoughts on the victory.
Yeah, offensively, it was really to keep our composure and not get sped up. Felt last game we weren't our best at attacking the rim and finding our outlets, and our spacing was much better tonight. Guys being patient and finding the driving lanes, and then obviously getting to the basket, the second chance points, and offensive rebounds were big for us. Defensively, they hit some tough shots in the third, obviously. The 4-point play, 7-point play, whatever it was with the flagrant foul there. But we didn't fall off the cliff offensively like we did in other games. 33-25 in that quarter, we kept scoring. And then obviously had a big fourth quarter, so that was the main